How we doing? All right, how we doing, y'all? Juice. Yeah. Previously on Kimba TV. So I'm gonna go with, does it dip the tip, you know, and let it rip? Or does it actually do this, clean, grab, and then start this kind of shit? Okay, Wandu, but for me, CME has to get above 100.5 to even for me to even think. How about this? How we doing, chat? Good morning. Let's go. Juice. Ladies and gentlemen, how we doing? Hey, good morning. Happy Monday, Lions. I think I'm good to go. Markets are opening in about 3 minutes. We got levels to the downside, levels to the upside. They haven't really changed, though, except for that extension over the settlement. Here we go, chat. Yeah, yeah, yeah. What did we say, chat? Let's go. Easy money, chat. Yeah, yeah. Here we go, chat. Here we go, chat. Quit playing with me. Juice. Math. Stop the music. Kadesi says, is this long or short? What I want you to do is watch the highlights from yesterday and the stream from yesterday, can I see? Yep, if you have to ask, I wouldn't even trade because it's so obvious. Okay, Kanesi? But choose one thing that you need to learn how to do and just ask me. Alrighty, Kanesi. The first, I don't know how much you noted out this weekend, but think of the stuff that you spent time on over the weekend and just focus on applying that. You know, what did you focus on? Did you focus on fibs, divs, CVD, open interest, what? So whatever you noted out over the weekend, just try to do your best to apply that to your trading today. You know, so if you nerded out on CVD, try to see if you can see CVD divs. If you nerded out on open interest, try to see if you can read the open interest. All right. Nothing has changed since yesterday's stream. So you could basically just copy the levels to the down. Do you remember the two levels that we have to the downside? Do you remember what I said about this? Do you remember what I said about this? Somebody was asking me, where would I scalp short? I said, here. Do you remember that? So if you're asking me the day of, right now, is it a long or short? You got to go back and listen to what we talked about yesterday. All right. So scalp short, right? We talked about it. We're going to see if we're going to get above the get above or get fucked line. All right. We have two levels to the downside. We have the open and we have Kimba's useless lines. To the upside, we have this and we have settlement. And then this is like your line in the sand. Above here is bullish, remember? Below here is bearish. All right, but everything's been talked about and given out pixel perfect. So if you can't figure it out by now, I would just either rewind and get caught up to yesterday's. All right, can I see? Yeah, nothing has changed since yesterday. It's like we paused it. Yeah, I already have pixel perfect long. We got it yesterday together. We were here when this was happening. We said, no, wait for the point of control to get grabbed. We got the bull div. Right around here is the next level of interest if you wanted to scalp long. So yeah, scalp long, scalp short is all kind of given. The scalp short already got hit. Yeah, and we'll see if my long gets away with it, man. And then we have some altcoin stuff to talk about today, too. JV says sweep 9855 and close above or dip the tipping gap would be perfect. Yeah, which is why it shouldn't happen. Right? So in this context, we should just go. You know, because this is the perfect setup. Everybody that was, you know, pussyfooting doesn't get filled on the long. Bye. Yeah, so everything looks good. We're above the you know what. So really the only hurdle that we have left, JV, is to get back above settlement. And we should be on our way to 125, 130. Yeah, but that's why we did this, right? Just in case. Yeah, we did it live, pixel perfect. Everybody knows what my entry is and how big my long is from there. Santa says, damn, I shaved a good chunk. Let's see. For what? For a long? No reason to do that. It's bullish. How would we know if there's a chance to go lower? Do you see the line that says get above or get fucked? If you get below that, you're fucked. I would rewind and get caught up on why we drew that line yesterday. Yeah, we already defined what would be bullish and what would be bearish. We did it like 18 hours ago. So yeah, nothing's really changed since yesterday. Blaze says, I missed the long. That's okay. It's inconclusive. Maybe you get rejected here. Maybe you get rejected here. This is possible. This is possible. This is possible. Yeah, it's level by level. Thinking that you missed it is probably going to fuck you up, to be honest. Yeah, remember what we said yesterday? You only think that you missed it when you haven't prepared. Right? Otherwise, you should have a, well, if I don't get this, then I'm going to execute this. Right? If you only have plan A and your plan A is the ideal scenario, then you're not ready. So go from gap to low. It's absurd. Yeah, you heard. Sipping green on them levels, no cappuccino. Wicked the zone, hit TPO, making it look like a free throw. Math on the line. I don't need hope. Chart reading VWAP. Smack that wick, candle froze. Up at the high with the fib in reverse. What kind of levels do I like? Sophia, I like volume-based levels. I like time-based levels. And I like mathematical-based levels, right? So you have volume, VWAP, TPO, the singles, the Fibonacci range of the TPO, and then you also have the math. So this is how we said, and how crazy is it that when RTH opens, it just bullish retests and then starts going. Yeah, so I mean, I say this every single day, but you need to have a line that tells you above here is bullish, below here is bearish. Oh my God, it's gotta be testnet. Oh my God, we got live filled and our long entry is right here. How is that? How is that even possible, chat? How is that even possible? How is that even possible? It's gotta be testnet. Quit playing with me, chat. Jing Gao says, if we're aiming all-time high with this, if you are, then I'm not. I'm gonna just be honest. Yeah, what I would say is, whatever your mind is going to ask is your own subconscious bias. Juice! Castillo says, looking kind of bearish for now. You were here earlier in the morning when I drew this, correct? Yes. So it's if X, then Y, right? So if we get rejected at value area low, what are we looking at next? What is the level that has to hold for bulls to still have a chance to get back into value area low? One, they need to hold VWAP, and two, they cannot lose structure. You just made a higher high. You're telling me that you're going to make a lower low? That's fucked. And we already have a level that you're supposed to stay above. So we talked about it over the weekend, but this and this still leave open for this. And in my opinion, if it's getting rejected at these levels and we're making a lower low, of course I will take a swing fail. I think the probability of a swing is lower. You know, basically you lose this bitch, we're going to 90 what? We'll go to what? We're going where? If we lose this bitch, we're going where, chat? If we lose 98.5, we're going where? So what are some things that could increase the probability that we're going to make a lower low? What are some things that could increase or decrease probability that we're going to go here? Because we know what's going to happen if we lose 98.5. So what are the chances that we could go here? Well, if you lose VWAP and you get below this, the probability that you're going to make a lower low is high. You stay above this, you have a chance to get above value area low. You get back above value area low, you've got a real big chance to get through settlement and value area high. If you get through value settlement and you turn that into bullish retest and you turn that into support, then we're going to see all-time high. Castillo says, Kimba, you still in the Pico bottom long? Yup. I shaved 2% at value area low. And then do you remember where I said I would put my stop loss? I told you literally where I would put my stop loss. Do you remember when I said that if it nukes, I'm going to realize this much? So I'm just trying to get the 0.5, brother. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. Stop loss is going to be like right around here. Because like we said, it should hold VWAP and it shouldn't make a lower low. Yeah, so I'm just slowly moving it, but my goal is the same. I'm going to try to get at least half. And as you can probably tell, my short is still open too, so. Fred says, at what price would you start closing your big short? Probably above settlement, but it's really a hedge, so yeah, but probably above settlement, above value area high. There's probably no need to hedge at that point. Yeah, we would have, faked, failed, looked beneath, clean. Let's go. So yeah, I would think if we can get above like 104, 105. I mean, it's the same levels as the last couple weeks. So yeah, 104, 105. Let's go. Hasn't it always been 104, 105 though? That'll never change for me, Fred. Yeah. Castillo says, all good, sir. You want to swing this long? Yeah, there's a chance that it's going to be 98.5 as the local low, right? Yeah, so Castillo, I want you to understand that I'm not going to be scared to long 98.5, 96, 94, and I'm really excited about the opportunity to long 91. All right, so I did on these. Okay, the same way that I took this long and I'm holding it and shaving need to and putting the rest on stop loss and profit, I'm going to do the same exact thing. Do you remember about like when I said yesterday, like it shouldn't do this, it shouldn't do that? It was perfect. Like this never had a 5 pullback. So saved by the bell. So I would be thinking the same thing up here as well. All right. But yeah, I was already kind of ready. I don't know if you were here or not, but when we took the 108 short, I was already thinking about the 98. And we've been talking for quite some time about there's going to be two teams. One team is going to think that the long is in, obviously breaking 100, but one team is going to think 98, 99 as support, and the other team is going to think 91, 92, right? So just in case the first team is going to win, I'm going to take it. All right, Castillo. Yeah, and if we go back down, I would take another long on a 98.5 SFP, but if it doesn't SFP, I5 means 91 is coming. So this is where I'm not going to be aggressive on the SF. Certainly no blind limits. And it'll be pretty much the same exact entry as the current long. If it does SFP, I'll have like a 98.3 entry, and the stop loss would be the wick invalidation. This is what I keep saying, y'all. Like, there is no such thing as I'm right because I'm long, or you're wrong because you're bearish, or the short is wrong is right, or like that's not the game that we're playing. It's who gives a fuck. Somebody could have longed down at the bottom of the 618 because you were prepared and you're bullish, and somebody could have shorted that bearish retest of the green dotted line. Like no one should give a fuck. Everybody can take a shot with their own bias, right? The only thing that really matters is when you take these shots, is it actually at a statistically advantageous state? Whether it's the level or the edge, you know what I mean? So Lions, that's why I keep saying we can't lose. You just need to have a little bit of discipline and patience to wait for the level that is the best for you. If you get it, awesome. If you can't, you know, it is what it is. Retail DGen says, I have several alts I want to get into that I missed or have small positions in. So instead of stop loss and profit, it's tempting to double down or chase them at a stupid level just in case. As long as that just in case is logical and data driven. So if you have a hidden CVD bull div again playing out on a little pullback, right? You can double down, but just don't do it with no data. All right. The whole point is, how can I do something better next time, right? Because it's not about the trade that you take today. It's about using the trade you take today to learn and do the 50,000 next ones better, right? So one, make sure that you're always doing something that can be articulated and explained. Otherwise, if the only thing that you can tell yourself that you can do better is don't do something stupid, you need to be able to say, okay, I shouldn't have doubled down because I needed to. Next time, I'm not going to take a 5-minute CVD hit in bull div. Next time, if the VWAP isn't there, I'm not going to take it. But as long as you can say, hey, I'm going to double down because of this, this, and this, and it doesn't work out, at least you can say, well, next time when I do want to double down, I'm not going to base it off of these variables. I'm going to do it do the double down better like this next time. Yeah, just make sure that you're always deciding based off of something that you can articulate. Yeah, otherwise you're just wasting money. So this is what I would say, says like maybe the preparation. So this is what we talked about yesterday, right? You can't lose 98.5. And the only way that you could lose 98.5 is with a swing fail. The only thing that would be bullish about losing a level is if it swing fails, right? So you can't lose 98.5. Where you could make a higher low, there's no time, and you can see that. So time, volume, and you can see with structure that previous high, previous resistance, they should be turned into support. That's how we came up with this might be so that was the long. If you wanted to get long, you had a long here, or you had a long here, or you had a here. Yeah. If you didn't want to take this long because you deviated away, what is your next plan? This is your entry pivot point. So whether you used this low as your stop loss or this low as your stop loss, it's kind of up to you. You're probably just going to have to keep looking at now like it would be maybe something like this. Yeah, but you're now kind of fucking yourself. First, we took this long together. Where were you? We talked about this last night, and this is where you needed to say above here is bullish, below is bearish. So you need to kind of you're not bullish, brother. You're like chasing. Do you feel it? You're not really bullish. You're not really looking for longs. You're just chasing the money. You're trying to you're chasing the profits, right? Do you feel like that? You're not really bullish. Yes, true. I wasn't bullish. Yeah, you can tell. Yeah. So like you need to kind of stop chasing longs because it's over with, SZA. Yes, on a higher time frame, if this penetrates the bullish retest of this conceptually would be good. Okay, maybe you can get a value area low bullish retest, and then you can aim for value area high. Okay, maybe you might be able to get VWAP after during Macaulay. But just understand that you're at a level here now that people are starting to think about closing their longs, and you're still asking, how can I get into a long? It's too late now. And then once it does this, you know, now you're fucked because you're thinking about longing, and then you get ran over. Whereas you were supposed to start thinking about shorting. And then it's going to be down here, you're going to be asking, is it too late to short? And then it's going to SFP and it's going to do this, and you're going to get fucked. I don't know if you play chess, but thinking one step ahead is not good enough. You know that, right? It's 2, 3, 4, right? Wait, stop the music. Frenzy says, I agree with you in the long, but my goofy ass got stopped out, so I gotta short every shot I can. Okay, so this is where you would be shorting. Again, sucks that it's fucking Macaulay in 20 minutes. Like, theoretically, this is where you'd be shorting. Also, if you were gonna try to chase along, it's probably, again, not the right time to do it. Maybe it's better to let it pop a lot higher than this, and then try to get like the bullish retest of settlement or whatever tomorrow during RTH. That might even be better, like a bullish gap play. But just be like objective, Frenzy, that if 104 and 105 is turned into support, it's going to look really good to rotate to the other side. Okay? And theoretically, if the timing wasn't so fucked, you could be trying to long the settlement. But again, in fucking 21 minutes, settlement is paused. So you can't do a settlement bullish retest. I don't know. Just try to survive through Macaulay, and we'll see if a Mexico border bullish retest or a settlement bullish retest makes sense. Yeah, conceptually speaking, though, like this whole zone, if you can flip this into support, you're good. So, like, but really, this is what's supposed to happen, though. Cajun Houston will help. Oh my God. And their single prints perfectly lined up right there, too. Can't be coincidence. Like, El Nino, fuck El Nino Blanco, right? First off, can we give it up for this goddamn box? Quit playing with me, man. I'm going balls deep in it? Dude, you don't need to go balls deep, you know? How are you going to be looking for what? CVD? You're not going to be able to see bottom shorts coming in. So are you going to be looking for like a hidden CVD on the smaller time frame and that's it type of shit? What's everybody's invalidation on the set? Because you do have a single print right there. But god damn, that VWAP is down there, man. That VWAP is down there, man. And just for shits and giggles, for those of you that do want to long the settlement or even the US-Mexico bullish retest, you do know that until you convincingly turn that box into support, you always have the opportunity to go lower than the 98.4 or 99.2 or whatever. So is it safe to take long settlement? There is no right or wrong. I don't know if anybody knows if the answer to that, brother. The thing that you have to understand, Wandu, is that it's almost a oxymoron. You can't do a settlement retest when CME is paused. Does that make sense, Wandu? You can't do a settlement retest when it's Macaulay. So you have this mixed bag of, could it scam pump a higher during Macaulay to squeeze out, go to that next VWAP, go to the next single print before like an overnight pullback all the way down, and then maybe during RTH, we get the settlement bullish retest. Maybe all of this was just kind of garbage and not really real. And eventually, when the price comes back to test settlement or the Mexico border or value area low, buyers actually don't step in. And even if they do, their brothers that longed are stopping out too hard, adding to the selling pressure to be able to hold these levels. In which case, you're probably not going to see that hidden CVD bull div if you do want to long the settlement or the US-Mexico border. And you're probably going to have to pay attention to the open interest. Some of these guys on your left are getting filled. You're just kind of like normal levels of resistance. You know, this box, all of these VWAPs and point of controls and blah, 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 blah. That's for this box. So best case scenario, you grab that single print as settlement and you get the fuck out of the box and let's get nasty, nasty. What? Fibonacci. If you're bullish or you're bearish, I think getting below the box and eventually back into previous day value would be bearish. Lions, you guys are the fucking best. Before I pass it off to Houston and Cage, we're doing the movie one more time. Let's go, Lions. What the? That is not the movie. Why is Speed twerking on? God damn. Let's try it again.